Hey everyone, welcome to the bar. So I'm here with a quick little follow-up video after reading this week's chapter of My Hero Academia Vigilantes. And if you think My Hero Academia is getting wild, well, I got some facts for you. So before I even get started rambling, spoilers are coming, and if you haven't read this week's chapter, go ahead and read it and come on back, because it turns out the video that I had been sitting on for about 2 weeks that I released earlier, it had a theory in it that was actually kind of confirmed. So before I get started, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Let's get to it.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's go.
Alright, so the most recent chapter of My Hero Academia Vigilantes starts off with a conversation about hero licenses between Popstep and Koichi. Popstep is trying to convince Koichi to take some side classes and get his hero license. We then find out after college it's actually relatively easy to get a hero license, and that some people actually get their license just to spring into action whenever they're needed. This is actually the case of her manager for Narufest, Rokuro Nomura. Unfortunately, Koichi kind of brushes off the idea, as his time as the crawler is over. Afterwards, we see Pop step out on the town. She performs and is actually pretty well received by the area. It brings her a huge amount of joy, and her self-esteem is getting better and better, and because of that, she's actually getting to know her manager kind of like on a more personal level. We find out that he helped her performance by enhancing the backing track of her vocals, adding in some guitar, and additional aesthetics. After her performance though, something changes in her, and she finally gets the confidence to believe in herself and finally understand what she truly wants. While she's having this moment, Nomura reveals that this would actually be the last festival, and he himself is probably going to be displaced somewhere else after it. And while they're out celebrating, he actually gets pretty drunk and has a moment where he kind of like pseudo-confesses to Popstep. His advances are kind of let down and he pretty much gets placed in the friend zone, and Popstep walks off to tell Koichi her true feelings. Also, do you remember those 3 thugs that approached them earlier? Thanks to you guys in the comments, I was able to also realize that these guys are homages to the 3 Final Fantasy protagonists from 7, 8, and 9. Just so you know, 7, 8, and 9 was released for the original PlayStation. That is really carbon dating myself. Now, right here is the moment of the big reveal. They're walking down the alley the same time Nomura gets friend-zoned by Pop, and they kind of rib the guy, telling him how shitty it is to be in the friend zone. And then one of them says, "Why don't you just show him your true colors? Girls love it when you do something like that." And this is where the panel depicts Nomura with his face completely shaded out and his hair in a ponytail, when suddenly a whoosh appears, and the 3 thugs are instantly ripped to pieces. That's right, ladies and germs, Rokuro Nomura is the villain number 6. While publishing the video prior to this one, I was just planning on doing a video explaining number 6 and to kinda, expose my possible theory. Then on my lunch break at work, I read the chapter and dropped my sandwich because, oh my god, this is the first time I've really kind of predicted something. The Shirakumo thing is now bullshit. I mean, they did foreshadow this pretty well. And thinking about it, how the hell was number 6 able to obtain an identity along with a hero license? I think it's more likely that number 6 killed a hero and took his identity, but let's face it, it's probably likely that someone with a counterfeiting quirk exists. Alright, so back to the chapter. Number 6 melts down and rages about how he did everything that he possibly could to get on Pop's good side. Right there, we flash back over to Pop, and she's back at Koichi's, and he's getting prepared for another interview. Pop is trying to communicate with him, but she's kind of cut off by Koichi showing her his new battle attire, which is just a tie. Granted, Koichi is trying to make light of the situation, kind of saying oh look, check out my new battle attire. But the thing is, he kind of emphasizes that the tie was given to him by Makoto. This sets off Popstep. She loses her nerve immediately and storms out of Koichi's penthouse. Good old oblivious Koichi was told to set things straight with Pop by Makoto, but he was still too ignorant to recognize the fact that Popstep had something to say. When she slams the door and rushes home, Koichi tries to chase her outside, but she's already gone. The scene then flashes over to her in her room. She's cuddled up in Koichi's sweater and she's bawling her eyes out when she takes out her phone and calls the one person who told her that they'll never leave her side, Nomura, number 6. We see him pick up the phone on Pop's side, and immediately she spills her guts, telling him that she needs him and that she ran off brashly like an idiot full of herself. We then flash over to number 6, and he sits amongst the dismembered bodies of the thugs that we thought were his newest friends. He tells Pop to calm down as he doesn't know what happened, but he tells her everything is gonna be alright because he's her fan. And that was the chapter. I know, this video is kinda short, and I'm gonna go ahead and give you my feels about what happened, and oh god was this an amazing chapter. My Hero Academia has this big war arc coming, and Vigilantes was like, oh okay, you want a war arc? Well, just so you know, we're gonna make Koichi come out of retirement to save Pop, elaborate on what happened to Knuckle Duster, and most of all, we're gonna get a speedster fight. This isn't Overhaul versus Deku where people were glass cannons. These are two mobility quirks going at it. We've only seen that one other time in either manga. That was when Ingenium was rushing to take down that Bat villain. I guess while I'm here though, I might as well formulate some new theories on what number 6's true motives are. From what's currently happened, we're able to deduce how he found Pop. We could say that she's been seen with the Naruhata Vigilantes, and when she decided to become an idol, she continued with the Pop Step persona. So number 6's plan had to consist of getting a real/forged hero license. This is to explain having a quirk and being able to provide papers about having an identity. 2, he had to get a job with the promoters and entertainers that Pop worked with to look like a legit manager and or producer. And his final move is maneuvering himself to become the most trusted confidant of Pop. After the villain factory explodes, prior to the final confrontation between him and Knuckle Duster, he actually states maybe it's time to lay low and stay out of Tokyo for a bit. He was already planning his next move. All of us can definitely see number 6 extorting Koichi for Knuckle Duster's whereabouts, and it's probably gonna involve Pop. I know in my prior video I said one of the reasons number 6 would go after Koichi is because of him thwarting the assassination attempt of Captain Celebrity, but the thing that really gets me is number 6 is actually just outright killing folks. He's left a trail of bodies in his wake, and now it feels like a more systematic takedown, because it'll only be a matter of time before this gets investigated. That means now Masa Tsukauchi and the police are officially involved, and since one of the last things that Tsukauchi did while he was in Naruhata was investigate the aftermath of Knuckle Duster's and number 6's battle. Me personally, I would expect Tsukauchi to put 2 and 2 together relatively quickly. The most incriminating thing about this is, the quirk Overclock is still registered to a WoW Oguro, Knuckle Duster. This means number 6 just gave him a body count, but at the same time he kept himself clean from any misdoing. Additionally, any of Oguro's known associates are now in jeopardy of being questioned by the police. His quirk is public knowledge, and being as when you kill someone with your quirk, it's kind of just like matching up a bullet to a gun. Also, now Masa has blood samples from both Knuckle Duster and number 6 too. I expect that evidence to play a part in finding Knuckle Duster, exonerating him, and hopefully incriminating Nomura. Though it kinda has me thinking, what if a situation occurs where Koichi has to reveal his quirk to the police and they have to bring him in as one of the Naruhata Vigilantes? This also makes me think that Makoto will definitely, eventually be involved as well. A big example of Chekhov's gun was her quirk. The only time we've ever seen her use her quirk in the series was to discover if Koichi was the crawler. Maybe her quirk plays a part in exposing number 6 and saving Koichi. I know, these are a lot of theories to digest, but the one thing I am indeed pulling for is a final face-off between Koichi and number 6. And I really hope that Pop doesn't play a damsel in distress for this entire arc and we finally see her kick some ass using her quirk. One of the biggest weaknesses to Overclock is that it pretty much does shit when you're in the air, so maybe she can be a bit of an equalizer here. That's gonna do it for this video. Man, I did not think any of this was gonna happen. And when I was uploading my prior video, I was kind of just expecting people to tease me for my theory being wrong. But I guess in a way I'm kinda like 2 for 2 now. I hope I didn't just jinx myself. But the hype train is real. Who needs a war arc when you have some awesome vigilante action? But real talk, My Hero Academia, Vigilantes, and the anime are getting insane, and it's weird just to go across 3 different shows and get so much action all at once. And I hope with the ending of Overhaul's arc, we actually finally get a Vigilante anime. But alright, that's enough of me rambling. I'm sorry, I'm out of here. This is Dan signing off saying I called it!